What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from A Connection TV here on YouTube, the one place in the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences, and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time seeing me, definitely follow me on all social media, Twitter and Instagram, at A Connection TV. Listen, y'all asked me to get into Traitors, and I got into her. Y'all also are telling me to watch season 1 and season 2. I don't know if it's really that deep. I mean, given that I know who won those seasons, but yeah, let's get into episode 7, season 3, The Traitors. Listen, these people are a bunch of fools is what I'm thinking from the very beginning, and I'm also feeling like Rob is gonna skate through and play these hoes because they're just clueless, right? That's what I'm thinking. That's what's in my mind. But let's talk about the episode, shall we? Oh, we last left off with Carolyn, Danielle, and Rob. Carolyn and Danielle are being, pushed and pulled and prided by Rob. And Rob is just the king on the castle, which is not really much of a shakeup from when Bob the drag queen was there, because as the dude, he was running these hoes too. Until Rob came, and then Rob was like, I'm the only man here. Your gay ass need to go. Like, I feel like that was the vibes. But either way, we'll never know. It is what it is. And so now Rob is running the thing, and Danielle doesn't want to let anyone go. Danielle is like, no, I can't do that. No, I can't pull her out. No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. And what ends up happening? Danielle allows for Derek to be murdered. And the reason why she allows for that to happen is because she feels like she needs to gain the trust of the traitors. And, her back is up against the wall. Well, Miss Thing, your back is up against the wall because you allowed Bob to go out. You actually voted for Bob to go out. Although Dylan created the charge and ran with it, Rob, really ran it home with Bob. And so, boom, Bob is not in here no more. You're number one, baby. You were up in arms, rallying behind him when y'all saw each other hugging. He's gone. Now, not only that, but then you go against Carolyn, who did not give you a reason to go against her. You go against Carolyn, you bring out Carolyn's name. Carolyn finds out, and now you're in the hot seat with her. Not only that, you did vote against Rob at one point, so now the traitors just don't trust you. And I don't blame any one of them, to be honest. But Danielle, to be this OG player, and Rob just gets to get whatever he wants. And we get here in the morning and everyone's coming in. I thought it was cool how Gabby was talking about Ivar and didn't even realize that Ivar was there in the room. I thought that was cute. But we get to the morning, and guess who is not walking in the building? It's Derek. And it's Derek. Why? Because Derek was coming after Rob for obvious reason, and Rob wanted him out. And Rob is the OG penis in the room with the traitors, and he gets to pull his weight around. And the women just seem to, listen. Derek is not here, and Danielle is crying her eyes out. Oh, she is so sad and sobbing, and oh my God, this is horrible. Baby, you're the reason for it. And she's like, I hope he forgives me. I'm so upset, I hope. I'm like, girl, it's too much. The theatrics of it all for... So at this moment, I am feeling like if these people clearly don't see what's going on here, they are so stupid, slow, and Neanderthal-esque, okay? The women reconvene, or convene, I should say, and they're like, oh my God, Danielle's doing way too much. Danielle is crying and sobbing, like that's just way too much. I'm like, girl. I mean, I agree. Derek is gone, unfortunately. Wes is gone, unfortunately. And Dylan has his finger up Rob's butt. And he's like, listen, I have to tell you something, but I have to tell you something when we leave the room so that we don't, And I'm like, am I the only one hearing this, or nobody's really hearing this because they're all caught up in conversation? Whatever. Dylan tells Rob about what Derek said about him and Brent being suspect. And then Tom comes into the conversation and he is like, what's going on? Talk to me. And so Rob was like, all right, I guess. I was sitting here talking to Dylan, but whatever, you want to be in the mix, Tom. But although Chriselle doesn't like Tom, Tom seems to be the only one that gets it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tom seems to be like there in the brain because he's the only one that gets it. And he has to then convince Dylan to get it too. And I'm like, is Dylan really going to get it? Or is his finger so far up Rob's butt that he doesn't want, you know, to go against Rob? Like, who the hell is a Rob? I don't even know who Rob is. Actually, I don't know who none of these people are. Except for Chriselle, Bob, Danielle, Brittany, Wes, Derek. Like, all the other people, I don't know who they are. I don't watch Survivor. Survivor, I can't get into Survivor to save my life. Like, I tried. It's a miss for me. But Tom reels it in. And I'm excited about this. There is something that is aggravating me about Dylan because Dylan was like so gung-ho Bob the drag queen and it just came out of nowhere, right? But then you have like Bob the drag queen and you have Rob and their personalities are similar in the sense of them always being the ones to stir the pot and run shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just confusing to me how Dylan was so anti-Bob the drag queen, but never anti-Rob. And I don't know if it was like he respected Rob from like a reality TV perspective or whatever. But if you look at both of these characters, both of them are kind of suspect, like equally suspect. It's just interesting how Dylan doesn't see the Rob situation and Tom has to get it out of him. Now, baby, listen here. We get to the challenge and they have to go to the altar and as peers because they're married or whatever. I thought it was pretty dope how it wasn't like an obligatory thing that man and woman had to be the one going down the aisle. You had two men partnered up, you had two women partnered up, and you had man and woman. I thought that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, the host is clearly gay, but with bad teeth for some reason. Like, how are you like a Emmy Award-winning host and your teeth aren't at least white or aren't at least all of the same shade? But you have on these avant-garde outfits, but you can't get your teeth cleaned and whitened to be on an Emmy Award-winning show. Am I the only one that thinks like this? Maybe I am, I guess, whatever. Okay, so we get to the challenge and I'm like, okay, why is this so corny? Like, are we like cool with these celebrities and we don't want them to hurt themselves? Like, they have to hold hands in a box? Like, or they had to hold hands at the altar, but before we found out that it was in a box, I'm like, okay, like this is corny as hell. Like they have to hold hand for 8 minutes. But then the boxes come out with goggles and I'm like, okay, something's clearly is about to go in this box. Baby. I don't know if I could have lasted through this, to be honest. Like I have to be honest. Like I don't know. I would have had to hold, like whose ever hand I was holding would have been like, I would have been holding it so tight. And in my mind, like I could not open my eyes. Like I just couldn't open my eyes. Cause baby, seeing them scorpion things would have been a wrap. But then in my mind, I'm like, bitch, if you pull your hand out, you might get snipped or something. You know what I'm saying? Like if you abruptly move your hand, you might cause a thing and they like, you know? So it was crazy seeing all these things happen to these people and they had to endure it. Chriselle, she was horrible. She was instantly out. Chriselle, instantly out. But Carolyn and Gabby stuck it through. Danielle and Britt stuck it through. Sierra with Rob stuck it through. Like, wow. Dylan and Tom stuck it through. Sam and Ivar stuck it through. I'm like, wow, you know? Like, wow, this is, wow. Baby, them snakes took me out. The snakes, like the snake crawling on me took me out. When they dropped the buckets of bugs on them, baby, I didn't even realize that the bottom floor had like an upper visible, like a glass wall barrier. I'm like, I didn't even realize that when they stepped into that. Like, okay, what are they about to throw in this thing? Poor bugs, like so many bugs had to have died. And like, are we supposed to be like, you know, are we supposed to care or not care? I don't know. I cared though. I did. Quite a few people win shields. And even at this point in the game, I'm like, So I was confused, but it didn't dawn on me until we got to the banishment table, the round table. So the shield protects you from being murdered, but you have to survive banishment at the round table. That's how I'm understanding it. I don't know how many traitors can make it to the end and how many faithfuls can make it to the end. Like, I have no idea. Like, the last man standing, if it's a traitor, what happens? Or the last woman standing, if it's a faithful, what happens? I don't know. I'm still clueless with that. But a shield protects you from being murdered, but you're not protected from being banished. So you still have to fight to not be banished at the round table. I believe that I have an understanding of that. So we get to the banishment table, aka the round table, and Dylan speaks up first. And I'm shocked because, actually I'm not shocked because he's done it before in the past, but I was shocked that Dylan went and stated what Derek said all the way through and not leaving Rob out. He mentions Rob and Brittany's name. And I'm like, okay, who else gonna speak? You know, Britt comes up, she says her thing. I don't believe she was convincing. In the edit that we saw, she didn't say enough for me. But then Tom spoke up and said what he said about Rob. Now listen here. Rob tried to spit a good case, but in my mind, like, there's so much clear evidence. In a game where there's mystery and, you know, it's hard to figure things out, when things are clearly presented to you, you have to literally take it into consideration and consider that it is what it is. Like, the writing's on the wall, if you will. Everyone that went after Rob got murdered. You know what I'm saying? And Rob is still here. How ironic? No. How fitting. You know what I'm saying? And like, I just don't understand why it's even a question. Sierra not voting for Rob. Dolores. I don't think Dolores voted for Rob either. I think Dolores, let me look at my notes. Let me see who did what. Tom voted for Rob. Chriselle votes for Tom because she's like got a hard on for him. Britt votes for Rob. Sierra votes for Britt. Dylan votes for Gabby. Carolyn votes Rob. I love her down boots. I love Carolyn. I love her down. She is like the realest chick. Sam votes Rob. Ivar votes Rob. Rob votes Britt. Danielle votes Rob. Now this is the moment when I'm like, she finally got some balls. Like, really? Because Danielle has been trashed this whole game. And Dolores votes Tom. She's a weirdo. Gabby votes Rob. Now, see, I'm like, my two favorite people. My two favorite people, I know y'all not going to get it. Y'all not going to get it. Y'all probably might get one, but y'all not going to get the second one. My two favorite people in this game are Gabby and Carolyn. What? Why do I love Gabby so much? Because she was like so cold going through this box thing with the holding hand thing. And she is like the ditziest, prettiest, seditious person, you know, prejudging on the show outside of Chriselle. And so the fact that she got through that challenge, oh, I know she's a real one. Like, Gabby gives me that. Like, Gabby's like, I have $1 million in my bank account, but I'm willing to get in this mud and play with the pig so we can win some money for charity. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what Gabby gives me. And Carolyn got through it too. And Carolyn is real deal Holyfield. She was team traitors until she found out that Rob was a snake, and then she found out that Danielle was saying her name. Like, once you cross Carolyn, she's not on your side anymore. I like Carolyn because she was the first to vote. Well, not the first to vote against Rob, but she voted against Rob when it counted, and she was not like having it. And so I'm here for that. Danielle, I just wish she would. I don't know. I just wish she would do better. I just wish she would do better. They get Rob out, and Rob, you know, doesn't do a West or whatever. He just bows out gracefully, and he says, I will forever and a day and always in life be a traitor. Clearly, y'all didn't want him to be a part of the game from the beginning, but y'all allowed him to be a part of the game. And then he ran y'all for a couple episodes. But now y'all finally got him out. They do the chair thing and everything is like, okay, great. But then they're told that whoever gets murdered gets to see the people face to face 100%. Like the traitor has to murder their person face to face. Listen here. There's only two options for these chicks to get. First, mind you, Danielle and Carolyn go back in the room. Carolyn don't see it for nobody's Danielle. I don't see it for her either. Like those braids need to go. There's a lot going on with Danielle. She has rubbed me the wrong way. There's been too many instances where she says, this person is my ride or die, but yet she votes to get the person out. I'm not here for her. She went against Carolyn. I'm not here for her. She went against Rob. That was the only one I was here for. But it's like she's all over the place. She's all over the place for me, and I'm not here for Danielle at all. Okay? That's that. But there's only two people that they need to go against and pull what out. Dylan, I feel like, should go right away. It's either Dylan or Tom. That's it. Chriselle ain't guessing nothing. Dolores ain't guessing nothing. Who else was a part of that thing? Not getting the shield. Carolyn, I mean, she is a traitor, so she can't get murdered. But yeah, and Gabby, like, Gabby's a real G. Like, Carolyn's not doing Gabby in. And I don't think neither one of them are doing Chriselle in. I think if they keep the dudes in, which the dudes have been heavy on the women, like, come on, like, they're corny. They're corny. It needs to be Dylan and then Tom, honestly. It does. It does. Because Dylan made the first attack against the traitors. Who do y'all think they're going to vote out? Do y'all really think they have it in them to do it? I think Carolyn does. I think Carolyn does. Because even when Rob said Brittany, like, Carolyn was not here for that. She was like, Brittany? Why? Like, that doesn't make sense. So I think the two women are going to pick a dude. It just makes sense. Because Dylan was the first to call out, you know, Bob the drag queen, and now Tom is getting the cojones to call out Rob. Yeah, I think that's what it'd be. And Dylan is calling out Britt. So I think it's going to be Dylan. If they're smart, it's going to be Dylan. Anyways, leave your comments below. How did you feel about episode 7? And yes, I can't wait to see who they are going to murder. Love y'all. Deuces.